Hello guys and welcome to UK Foundations. I'm Uttaraditi and today we'll be starting a new chapter which is polynomials. So let's begin without any further ado. Okay, exercise 2.1, first question. If one of the zeros of the quadratic polynomial, this one, is minus 3, then the value of k is. So if minus 3 is one of the zeros, it's basically one of the root, then if we substitute in place of x minus 3, then we can equate it to 0 and find the value of k. K minus 1 into x square. X is minus 3, so minus 3 square will be plus 9, right? Plus k into k is minus 3, x is minus 3 into k plus 1 is equal to 0, right? We are basically substituting minus 3 in place of x. So k minus 1 as it is, x in place of x will be minus 3, so minus 3 square will be positive 9 plus k into minus 3 plus 1 equals to 0. Just open the brackets, we'll get 9k minus 9 minus 3k plus 1 equals to 0. So now 9k minus 3k will be 6k, minus 9 plus 1 is minus 8 equals to 0. So 6k equals to 8, k equals to 8 by 6, which will be 4 by 3. So the answer is 4 by 3. Okay, so that's the first question. I hope you have noted it down. Moving on to the second question. The quadratic polynomial whose zeros are minus 3 and 4. Okay, so there are plenty of ways with which you can solve this question. One is you can substitute the values of minus 3 and 4 in each in each option, and you can check to which of them it equals to 0. Or another method is, let's assume that this is alpha and this is beta. Okay, so we know that sum of the zeros equals to minus b by a and product of the roots is c by a. So here minus b by a, you will get it as 4 minus 3, which is 1, and c by a is negative 12. So let's check which option satisfies this. Minus of b by a, you will get it like minus of 1 by minus of minus 1 by 1, which is equal to positive 1. Okay, well and good. And then now c by a will be 12 by 1. You have to get it as positive 12, but it's negative 12 here, so this is not the option. Next, x square plus x plus 12. Sum of the roots is minus of b by a, so minus of b is positive 1 here and a is 1. In the first itself you are getting negative 1, so it's wrong. Next, this one minus of b, which will be minus 1 by 2 by a, just positive 1 by 2. Minus into minus plus, 1 by 2 will get cancelled, you will get positive 1. Okay, it's satisfying this. Next, product of the roots is c by a. C is negative 6. Negative 6 by a, which is 1 by 2. 1 by 1 by 2 will become 2, right? So minus 6 into 2 will give you minus 12. So that is the answer. You can check this, of course it's not going to satisfy, so it's option 3. Okay, so copy it down. I'll erase it in 1, 2 and 3. Okay, third question. If the zeros of the quadratic polynomial, which is given, are plus 2 and minus 3, then what is the value of a and b? Okay, wait. Okay, so if again 2 and minus 3 are the roots, then you can do two methods, right? Sum of the roots, let's take it and solve in that manner. So this is alpha and this is beta. Sum of the roots will be minus of b by a in a usual equation. Here it should be minus of this by a, which is 1, minus of a plus 1 by 1, right? And product of the roots will be c by a, which is c will be b here basically, right? b by 1. Okay, so you know both the values of alpha and beta. Very simple question. Alpha plus beta will be minus 1. 2 minus 3 is minus 1 equals to minus of a plus 1. And alpha into beta will be 2 into minus 3, which is minus 6, that is equal to b. So b should be minus 6, it's in this option and this option. Alpha plus 1, so here minus 1 gets cancelled, a is equal to 1, so this one and this one will get cancelled, a is 0, 0 comma minus 6, which is option D. Okay, yeah, so you can copy this question solution. You can do it in plenty of other ways as well. You can substitute 2 and minus 3 individually in the equation. You'll get two sub equations, solve them, you'll get alpha and a and b value. Okay, next, fourth question. The number of polynomials having zeros as minus 2 and plus 5. So the roots should be minus 2 and plus 5. So it's for which polynomials, or for how many polynomials can you have that? Okay, so let's analyze this. Again, when you have two roots, alpha, which is minus 2, and beta as 5, sum of the roots will be minus b by a, assuming that the polynomial that we are going to be getting will be a into x square plus bx plus c. So suppose if this is the polynomial that you are going to get, in that case sum of the roots will be minus b by a, product of the roots is going to be c by a. Okay, so substituting these, sum of the roots will be 5 minus 2, which is 3, 3 equals to minus b by a, and product is minus 10, 5 into minus 2 is minus 10 equals to c by a. Now here is the point to visualize what is the thing is, a value and b value against c, you can relatively change many numbers, you can put them. So suppose let's assume I'm taking a to be 1, then b will be minus 3, right? Then c will be minus 10. But what if I take a to be 2, then b will be minus 6 and c will be minus 20. So like this, plenty of polynomials I can form, henceforth the number of polynomials is infinite, so more than 3. Okay, this is infinity symbol, it's supposed to be like this. Okay, so you'll get more than 3 polynomials. Okay, so the fifth question, let's clear out some space. Okay, given that one of the zeros of this polynomial is 0, then the product of the other two zeros is. So we have to find the product of the other two zeros. So let's do one thing. We know that in such an equation, the product of the roots taken 2 at a time means alpha beta plus beta gamma plus alpha gamma will be c by a. Right, for a cubic equation, first will be minus b by a, then c by a. So here is c by a. So if one of the zero of the cubic polynomial is 0, let's assume that alpha equals to 0. So then this term becomes 0, this term becomes 0, irrespective of the values of beta and gamma. Okay, so now beta into gamma equals to c by a, just second option. That's it, that's the answer. Okay, I hope it is clear. Moving on to the sixth question. If one of the zeros of the cubic polynomial, this one, is minus 1, then the product of the other two zeros. So it's similar to the previous one, but the difference is it's not 0, but instead it's negative 1. So you can't apply the same strategy. What we'll do is we'll try to obtain two equations. One is we'll substitute minus 1 in this equation. Okay, so minus 1 cube, okay, plus a into minus 1 square plus b into minus 1 plus c, it should be equal to 0, right? Yeah, so minus 1 cube is minus 1, minus 1 square is positive 1, so it will be plus a, and negative b plus c is 0. So take only c in one side, c equals to b minus a plus 1, correct? C equals to positive b, negative a, positive 1. This is the equation. So let's keep it as 1. Now what we'll do is we'll apply the same thing, alpha beta plus beta gamma, right, plus or else wait, another simple method instead of that is the product of all the roots, alpha into beta into gamma should be minus, you'll have minus b by a, c by a, then minus of d by a. That should be into minus of d by a. Okay, so we know that we have, let's assume that alpha equals to negative 1. Okay, so beta into gamma will be d by a. In place of d we have c, and in place of a we have 1. So beta into gamma equals to c, but if you see something, c equals to this value. So you can equate beta into gamma as b minus a plus 1. So b minus a plus 1 is first option. So answer is a, right? So I think it's clear. I'll explain it once again. Minus 1, first you're substituting in place of x in this equation. So you're getting this one. On rearranging, you'll get the value of c. Now we are applying the formula that in a cubic equation, into x cube plus b into x square plus c into x plus d is equal to 0. Then the product of the roots taken at a time will be minus of d by a. So that's what we have applied here. In place of d over here we have c. So substituting c, and in place of a we have 1, like 1 here and a over here. So substitute 1, you'll get c by 1. C value is b minus a plus 1, so got the value. That's it. Okay. Next, 7th question. This is a simple one. What we are going to do is, let's apply the quadratic formula. X equals to minus b plus or minus under root b square minus 4ac by 2a. Okay, minus of b, minus of 99. We have to find the nature of the roots. Are they both positive, both negative? So here it's not like finding they are real or are they equal or something. We should find the sign of the roots. Are they positive or they are negative? So let's directly apply this formula. Minus b plus or minus under root of b square 99 square minus 4ac. A is 1 into c, it should be under the root, okay, divided by 2 times of a, 2 times of 1. Now I want you to solve the equation and find out the values of x. So I want you to drop it in the comment section. You will get the answer to be both negative. You can just solve it. It's just the direct step. Definitely solve and tell what are the roots. Okay. Next, moving to the 8th question. There's no much to explain in that. You have to just solve the equation, find the values and tell what are the roots. Is it positive or is it negative? Next, the 8th question. The zeros of the quadratic polynomial, this thing is. So we have to find what are the zeros again. Are they both positive or are they both, they cannot be positive or cannot be negative. We have to find. Let's apply the determinant formula, b square minus 4ac. So you'll get k square minus 4k. Okay, as k cannot be equal to 0, this entire value also can't be equal to 0. So k into k minus 4 should be greater than 0, right? Because if it becomes less than 0, you'll get imaginary roots. We want real roots, so we are assuming it to be greater than 0. Now, what happens is k and k minus 4. In which places are they, in which conditions can you get them to be greater than 0? We have to find. It is possible when both are positive. when both are positive in the sense k value is positive and k minus 4 is also positive, right? Or when both are negative. Okay, negative into negative is also positive, positive into positive is also negative. But the point here, the catch here is, if I take k to be suppose 1, okay, so you'll get 1 into 1 minus 4, 1 minus 4. Here you'll get 1 into 1 minus 4 is negative 3, so this will become less than 0. So you can't tell in every case both are positive, right? But when both are negative, for sure you will get the outcome to be positive. Why is that so? Let me take minus 2 and minus 3 example. Okay, minus 2 if I take, then you'll get minus 2 into minus 4, right? So here you'll get minus, wait just a minute, it is supposed to be minus of 2 minus 4. Okay, minus 2 minus 4 is minus 6, minus 2 into minus 6 will be plus 12, so it's becoming greater than 0, definitely. So if you take minus 3 also, what you'll get, minus 3 into minus 3 minus 4, again minus into minus you'll get positive. So both are negative, so they both cannot be positive, cannot be positive, both can't be positive is the conclusion. That's it. I hope you have understood it. Next, moving on, 9th question. If the zeros of the quadratic polynomial are equal, then what are the signs, and we have to find them, right? So again, if they are equal, then the determinant should be 0, real and equal. So determinant is b square minus 4ac, you can write it as b square equals to 4ac. Now c can't be 0, this condition is important. Okay, now b square is always positive, right? Because square of any number is not negative unless it's an imaginary number, that you will learn it in the further classes. But b square is always positive up to now, right? That means a and c should have similar signs, means if both are positive or both should be negative. Again, like here, positive into positive will give you positive, and negative into negative will give you positive. So both should be of the same signs. Which one? A and c should have the same sign, so it's here. Okay, if they have opposite signs, definitely one will be positive, one will be negative. Positive into negative will not give you positive, it will give you negative. So using this basic idea, you can mark this answer. Okay, there's no relation between b and c here. If b is positive, c should be negative or something like that. So next question, 10th one. If one of the zeros of a quadratic polynomial of the form this thing is the negative of the other, then it, okay, so they have said that if one of the zeros, let's assume that both the zeros are alpha and beta, and they are saying it's the negative of other, alpha equals to negative beta. This is the condition given. Now we have the equation x square plus a into x plus b equals to 0. So we are going to apply two equations over here, two previous knowledges, which is sum of roots is minus b by a, product of roots is c by a. Sum of the roots will be alpha plus beta, which is minus a, from this equation, right? And product of the roots will be b by a, b by 1. Okay, so alpha plus beta, alpha is negative beta. If I place here negative beta, positive beta gets cancelled, minus a equals to 0. Next, alpha into beta is equal to b. So first of all, a equals to 0, that's the conclusion. So the equation reduces to x square plus b equals to 0, right? Now x square equals to negative b. Let's just keep this like that. We don't require this. We'll just solve the question from here. Now x square is always positive, so minus b should also become positive. When is that possible? When b is also negative, because negative into negative will give you positive. So assuming that b will be negative only, you will get this side also positive. So b, which is the constant term. What is the constant term? This last part is the constant term. That should be negative, and it has no linear term. Linear term means we'll have the highest power to be 1. right? But here the highest power is 2, so it's not a linear term. Okay, so the answer is option A. I think that was a very simple question, but a little logic to be applied. Okay, next, which of the following is not the graph of a quadratic polynomial? Okay, so let's analyze this question and the options to answer this. Okay, so the basic things, let me just tell it before. For a quadratic polynomial, if you see the roots itself, you can get to know that it's something related to the number of solutions that you can get, number of roots. So for a quadratic polynomial, maximum number of roots is 2, right? Minimum number is 0. It might not have any roots, that's also possible, right? So so you can have 0, 1 or 2 as the number of roots. In the first thing, there are no roots because the graph does not intersect the x-axis at any point. It just keeps continuing here. It just goes like this. It might intersect the x-axis, that doesn't y-axis, that doesn't matter, but it doesn't touch the x-axis. So the number of roots is 0. Here the number of roots is 1, the place where it touches the x-axis. Here it touches at 2 points, so there are 2 roots. But here it touches at 3 points, 1, 2, 3. But can a quadratic polynomial have 3 roots? No, it can't. Which polynomial can have 3 roots? A cubic can have, or more than 3, right? So you can have like a 4th powered root. All of these can have 3 roots as their solution. So option B is the right answer, which is not the graph of a quadratic polynomial. Okay guys, so the next exercise 2.2, we'll start it in a new video. I hope this session was very interactive, and I had given one homework. Definitely drop the comments of that. Yeah, definitely spread the key of success, spread knowledge. Thank you.